everybody, and welcome back to another video. I've got a question for you.
You've got a question for me? No. I have a question for you. Why do you sound like that? It's like you're screaming into the void. Which, now that I think about it, this is YouTube, so I shouldn't be that surprised, but ho-hum. Anyway, sure, what's your question, Voidy McShouterson?
Why does 90% of the population believe in God?
Oh, that's an easy one to answer. 90% of the population believe in God because this is like multiple years ago when we've travelled back in time, where that might have been true. But oh, wait a minute, it isn't years ago, and that question literally makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Oh noes, what a shock. But you know what, fine. Let's say that were true, since it's still a majority of people believing in God. We have to ask yourself this. Why is it that a majority of people believed all sorts of shit throughout the centuries, which then got shown to be completely wrong? It's because, right, and get this, they were fucking wrong. I wonder if that has any relation to today's subject.
Or specifically a higher power. Does he exist?
I don't know why your higher power has to be a he. I think if such a thing were to exist, it would be a sentient pile of sand. You know, because better than people. Also, higher power is not the same as any kind of deity, because while a god or godlike entity would be a higher power than something else is not necessarily a deity. I mean, humans are considerably more powerful than most animals and yet are not even remotely godlike. I mean, they don't even look like me.
Or is it some kind of scam or a trick to fool us?
I don't think a scam is a fair thing to call it, at least not overall. And that's not to say that there aren't scam religions. I mean, my goodness, there is no shortage of people willing to make up a best friend that we all definitely need to listen to, but only through them as a proxy. But no, honestly, being wrong and believing nonsense isn't strictly a scam. It is, however, kind of dumb.
Or is it a human concept that we created in an attempt to give us hope?
Weird false dichotomy, but okay. Because no, there's a lot more to religion than just, it's this one thing and this one thing only. That's why people who call it a mental illness get on my nerves. A, you can be perfectly in control of your mental faculties and be wrong. And more importantly, you can have any number of mental health issues while still being fully capable of distinguishing fact from fiction. So conflating religion with such is just fucking insulting. And if you have ever done so, stop. Or I will fart in every enclosed space before you visit until the day you die. Which won't be long, because those things are hella toxic. Please note, this is a fucking joke. I have absolutely no intention of killing anyone with farts. That would involve going outside and sharing my precious ass with anyone, and they just don't deserve its majesty.
Today, we're going to find out if there's any proof, whether it's scientific, historical, or any physical proof or evidence that shows us without a shadow of a doubt that God must be real.
I mean, okay, you're not going to do any of that since people have been trying to do that since forever ago and still haven't managed it. So how you think you've cracked the code? Well, doubtful. And scientific, you clearly don't have any concept of what supernatural things are. Basically, it means they aren't natural, and science isn't in the business of testing things that do not exist within nature, because you literally can't.
So one quick thing before we get started, if you're here with an open mind and an eagerness for the truth...
Well, those things rarely go hand in hand. I have never been more told that I don't have an open mind when I refute things that are total and obvious horseshit. As far as I can tell, all open-minded means is believe whatever someone who doesn't understand how reality works uncritically. And unfortunately, having no idea how the everything works and being unable to actually analyze it properly rarely leads anyone to anything even resembling the truth TM.
Then this video is for you. But if you're just here for some kind of drama, if you want to start some kind of war in the comment section, just click off.
No. What makes you think that you get to spout bullshit on an open platform and not have people point out how it's bullshit? I mean, this is me presuming it's bullshit, but then again, rarely does one who is actually sharing factual facts about facts tell people who would refute them to fuck off in the first minute of the video. Also, criticism isn't drama, and to label it as such tells me more about you than I think you wanted anyone to know.
Now then, there are a lot of options when it comes to believing in some supernatural being.
I mean, I get that they are all made up, but the fact that you included options that were literally fictional is just a bit weird. I mean, the last one is from The Road to El Dorado, and that's literally a fictional story about two guys pretending to be God. You couldn't get any more metatextual if you were fucking trying.
So when you come across someone who doesn't believe, it usually boils down to a few reasons.
Here's the, hey atheists, I've got you all figured out. And then followed by the most insultingly shallow and obviously untrue statements about us ever, demonstrating that the person making the claims hasn't met a fucking atheist in their lives, or at least not one who has actually spent more than 5 minutes thinking about anything ever.
One of those reasons is a lack of information, or so they think.
I like the little jab you threw in at the end there. If you'd have said lack of information, I would have been, okay, cool, I'm happy to go with that. But then you couldn't help yourself, and you had to be a dick about it. So they think. Well, it's strange that you say that, because no matter how much I think about the information that's not fucking there, it for some reason doesn't magically appear. It's almost like there is a lack of information that demonstrates any kind of God. Weird that.
Of a creator, which makes them start to doubt its existence.
Also, there's more than just lacks of information that make people doubt. In fact, kind of the opposite happens when people make all sorts of claims about God and its characteristics that can very much lead people to the conclusion, fuck me, they're just making this shit up. But to be fair, that's only because that's exactly what happened. So, you know.
Another reason that some people deny the existence of God is because they know the evidence is out there. They understand that he's probably real, but they refuse it because they don't want to hold accountability for their actions.
Whew, that was a lot, wasn't it? That's just straight up nonsensical gibberish, the kind of thing that you can only believe if you have a mind so open your brain has fallen out and then some other asshole has come along and stuffed it full of his asinine opinions right in your head hole and replaced your critical faculties with a sandwich. You cannot think that this is a good point if you have thought about it for even a single second. A god, a higher power who has control over your ultimate fate, since like you say, they don't want the consequences, but surely that god fella knows exactly what they did. So disbelieving in a thing that you believe in because you think that that's going to change anything about that situation is completely ludicrous.
They don't want somebody else, especially some kind of higher power, to judge them.
That's like saying you don't believe in the court system as a way to get away with all the crimes, since that's obviously not how that works. Except the major difference between the two is I can go talk to a judge, I can examine the laws of a country, I can eat a policeman. All of those things are real, but God, I can't even taste him with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Now for this video, I'm only going to focus on the first point.
I'm sorry, you made a point? I thought you were just talking rambly bullshit in an attempt to discredit the people who don't agree with you after you thought you had tricked them into leaving. But bad news bears, buddy. You can't trick me into anything without a lot of whiskey. Of course, with it, I am anyone's for the whole night. I will play so much Super Nintendo with you all.
So I'm going to try to break this down into 3 segments. I'm going to go with historical, scientific, and philosophical arguments that either confirm or deny the existence of God.
And let me guess, they are going to confirm it because, well, considering how you started, I'd be fucking shocked if that wasn't the result. But I would be happy to be proven wrong, I think. I mean, I have been waiting for one of you to actually do it ever, so I have no idea what it feels like for some reason. Maybe it sucks, but I will never know.
So the first one I'm going to talk about is science. What does science say about the universe? What created it? What started it?
It doesn't say any what at the moment. We don't know what, if anything, did the universe at all. And if you claim otherwise, then you are less talking about science and more talking what we in the academic circles call total fucking bollocks, mate. Just so you know.
Most scientific theories go back to the Big Bang.
Most scientific theories go back to the Big Bang. The Big Bang is a scientific theory. What are you talking about? You know, I'm starting to think that matey boy might not possibly know what words mean, or, you know, what the hell he's talking about, although that is just a hunch.
Where there was nothing before the Big Bang.
Nope, the Big Bang does not describe anything about what happened before itself. The Big Bang is just a fact about the universe and what it did after whatever did or didn't come before it. Oh, and it's a fact because that's what scientific theories essentially are, or at least they describe the facts as we understand them. I say this because you know he's going to be one of those people that just goes, it's just a theory, because again, he doesn't seem to know what words are or what they mean in any given context.
Except maybe a few atoms and molecules within a singularity, and eventually it exploded, causing the universe to expand and create galaxies, stars, planets, and everything we have here on Earth.
Didn't explode? Don't know what it did, but explosion is just a thing that people who don't know what Big Bang cosmology say. Although it's weird that you went straight to expansion after that, but at this point I can only guess that any accurate sounding use of terminology on your part is a complete and total accident.
But that actually contradicts the very rules and laws established by science.
What the f***? Did the void come back? Oh, shit, now I get it. He's pulling this on purpose to make himself sound more epic and thus magically correct. Let me try. All whiskey belongs to Sir Sick, you right set of bastards. Ah, cool. It worked.
Nothing can't create everything because nothing is nothing. It creates nothing. 0 plus 0 equals 0. Not 1.
In this universe, perhaps, but the rules of the universe as we understand them are just that. The rules of the space we currently occupy. We don't know if there is or what kind of rules or lack thereof could exist outside of it. And neither do you. So to state as fact that which you do not know makes you sound like a bellend. And that's a fact always and forever. And hypocrisy is okay when I do it, you see.
Now we're going to circle back to that. If you're walking down the street and you see a building.
Oh my god, doesn't exist. He's gonna fucking make a watchmaker argument, isn't he? Why do people still think that that's a good point? It's so bad. It's so illogical and it doesn't prove anything even remotely like the thing they think it's going to do. God fucking damn it. Gonna need that all of the whiskey I got earlier and hey, where did it go? Oh, right. Me.
You know without a shadow of a doubt there was a builder. Whether he died 50 or 100 years ago, you knew that there had to be a builder.
No, I don't, and you can't tell me what I know. I might know nothing about construction. I might think that buildings sprout straight out of the ground or some shit like that. Look, if he's going to just do the same shit people have been saying for fucking decades, then I am going to argue it into the center of the freaking earth. Hopefully then it will burn up in the magma layer.
And why is that? Because a building can't create itself. It requires a builder.
So of course rocks require rockers and seas require seers and planets must require planeters. Forget the fact that we know how those things came to be and that the way they are for the most part does not require any person or object to willfully make that thing happen. You know, it's almost like comparing naturally forming things and man-made things is a fucking shit argument that was debunked years ago.
If you see a beautiful painting, you know that there was a painter. Maybe not Bob Ross, but you know that there was a painter because paintings can't paint themselves.
Hey, don't you bring Bob into this. He's done nothing wrong. I hope that would allow for you to besmirch his good name. Although, again, that's of this moment, you can't trust any of your childhood heroes not to have done something horrendous. You know, like that time it turned out Mr. Rogers strangled all those cats. Although that might have been a dream, can't be too sure.
And that applies to the universe as well. If design and creation exist, then there has to be a designer or a creator.
If design and creation exist, well, there's your problem. You call them design and creation, words that imply will. I don't call them that, because that's not what I believe they are. They are the product of systems, not designers or creators ever necessary to that. End of story.
What I'm trying to do is to try to get you to think.
Well, you first, numbnuts. If you had actually thought about any of that for even a few seconds, you would have come to the conclusion that those are not good points. They are, in fact, very, very bad ones. That the repeating of out loud makes no effort to being anything other than really, really bad points.
To open your mind to the possibilities and thirst for knowledge.
Yeah, but that's like the opposite of knowledge. That's just shit in the shape of a light bulb that you have then put into your brain thinking that it's going to make people think that you're smart. Unfortunately, all it's actually going to do is make you smell bad and probably give you all kinds of exotic infections.
Because now I'm going to apply that to human beings.
Don't get your shit smeared ideas that aren't even your bad ideas in the first place onto the humans. You know they're already shit enough already. They don't need extra shit on top of the shit that is them. Although it's not like they could get any worse, so whatever.
If you've ever looked at the anatomy and physiology of a cell, it looks like a masterly designed blueprint and functions like a computer.
Nope and nope. 1. The masterfully designed blueprint is a fucking drawing, a thing that humans have made to show the cell in a way that we can look at it and it can be understood as not a jumbled fucking mess of nonsense. And B, no, it doesn't work like a computer. Nothing in nature works like a computer because computers don't fucking form outside of human engineering. Please stop it.
And there are trillions of these in everyone. In humans, birds, butterflies, fish, you name it.
Rocks? Not in those. Well then, what makes you think that those were designed? Everything had to be, according to you, but suddenly the rocks wouldn't count. See, even the stupid arguments against this point are pretty fucking devastating to it. Christ, it's like this shit isn't very smart.
Our cells are literally the instruction manual to our life and our bodies. Your cells literally explain to your body how to function, how to do everything that it's required to do.
Even if that were an accurate representation of how cells and bodies work, and not a gross oversimplification of the science that you clearly don't understand, that wouldn't change the fact that so what? Even if that's the case, that doesn't mean that any kind of God did it. That doesn't mean that a higher power did it. All that means is that it exists, and that's how it works. And more importantly, we have explanations for how those things came to be. And guess what? At no point does any of that explanation say, and then God did it. Get the fuck out of here, kid. You bother me with your debunked claims. Mine's so open it's empty and ridiculous reasons that you think people don't think the same things as you.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the